All right, guys. So you see a property listing online and you instantly think I want it. But then you find out it's a foreclosure auction or sheriff sale listing. And now you're like, how do I buy this property? Well, listen up, because today's topic is an overview of this exact situation and what to expect.
Welcome back to this week's Did You Know? Real Talk with Nina and Christine. So we're going to start off with, where do you find these properties? Every county has a sheriff's sale, and your local county sheriff's sale is posted in the newspaper and on the county website. And you're going to find the information like the date, the time, and the address to where you can go to bid and purchase in person. But you can also check out certain websites such as Hubzoo, Auction.com, Zoom, HUD, and Freddie Mac, and those are just a few of the popular ones.
Now, there are a lot of benefits that come with, buying a property from a foreclosure auction. However, there are also some very important things you need to be aware of and know, because they're not like any other regular real estate transaction with a normal buyer and seller. So there are stipulations you want to be aware of, as well as a bunch of different types of risks that can come with these types of sales.
So first, let's talk benefits, because buying a property like this can really be great. You'll probably get it at a lower price. There's usually a lot less competition, and you will know immediately if you won that bid. Also, you aren't dealing with sellers who could become emotional and want to endlessly negotiate.
Now, you also want to know that most of these properties are sold as is, and buyers do take on all the risks that come with the property from these types of sales. One of the risks may include getting a quick claim deed. So banks often sell these properties without a clear warranty deed, which is what you normally get from a normal sale or normal transaction. However, with a quick claim, you inherit every hidden title defect, old mortgage, lien, or line of credit that is attached to that house still.
Fun fact, this includes purchasing the house without an appraisal and without inspections. Since you're buying without a look inside, you need to be prepared. You may have to do renovations, and this may extend far beyond the aesthetic, right? This may be just to be livable. Your house could need tens of thousands of dollars in repairs that could include, animal droppings and remediation, roof or water damage, or mold. And another thing is, depending on how long this home has been vacant, there could be vandalism, and it may not be small. You could be dealing with stolen copper pipes, holes in the walls, broken windows, things like that. And this can be a big surprise, since you don't always get a chance to see the property before you close.
So something else I want to point out is, before taking possession of a sheriff's sale, be aware that the former owner who was foreclosed upon may still have a limited right of redemption, which allows them to repay the debt or reclaim the property after the auction. So for that reason, it is always best to wait until the redemption period has expired before you start renovations or moving into the property. Something else you want to know is, in New Jersey, buyers should be aware that the auction and sheriff sales may also be subject to 2024 Community Wealth Preservation Program, which can give eligible owner-occupants and their next of kin the priority over investors if they meet certain requirements, including a 3.5% deposit, housing, counseling, proof of financing, and they have to close within a allowed time frame.
You could also be responsible for a legal eviction process if the home is still occupied by tenants, because under New Jersey state law, they still retain their rights even when a property is foreclosed upon. Now, it's rare, but it does happen, and it could take months to get them out.
Now, these are expected to be cash purchases. So that means a proof of funds is required upon the offer. And in cases like an auction site, you need to check the listing terms. Some will require an immediate deposit, while others expect a full payment right upon winning the bid. With a sheriff sale, it is 20% down on the spot, and the rest will be due within 30 days.
And something else to keep in mind, once the bid is won on a property, unlike a normal real estate transaction, the normal ones use the standard New Jersey contract. Auctions and sheriff sales have their own contract of sale that you must sign. This is commonly referred to as a condition of sale for sheriff sales, and for auctions, a memorandum of sale or an auction purchase. Gosh darn it, guys. An auction purchase agreement. Now, what these do is they reinforce the as-is state, right? The waiver of contingencies, and they solidify the sale, because at this point, there is no backing out.
All right, so it's the day of the auction, and you already have the highest amount you are willing to bid in your mind on the property. And let's say you won that bid, but at your highest bid. So if you are someone who is inexperienced in these types of sales, you may not have thought about or you possibly forgot things like, budgeting for trash removal, hidden mold, dewinterizing, or even, back HOA dues if they apply. So remember, there are no inspections or appraisals allowed prior to closing on these properties, so you do want to give yourself a monetary cushion. You can, however, order your own title search prior to the auction, and it is highly recommended.
And closings here, they're a little bit interesting too, right? So for auctions, documents are handled via services like DocuSign. And to get the keys, you'll usually just take them from a lockbox. But for a sheriff's sale, the paperwork part will happen in person, but you may not get keys, right? They just may not be available. So be prepared to hire a locksmith or have a drill and have some new locks on hand and make sure to change them.
All right, guys. If you have any questions about foreclosure auctions or sheriff sale properties, please just drop a comment below or DM us. You can also reach out to us at any time. Our contact information is up on the screen. Call us or email.
So that's it for this week's Did You Know Real Talk. Please stay tuned for next week's episode because we are going to go over bank-owned and REO properties. They're really interesting. So thank you again for joining us. Please don't forget to like, share, and follow, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.